Please be seated. Well, now that everyone is in the house, let me say again, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to this historic day, the day of the investiture of West Georgia's 7th president, the day that we formally, officially, ceremonially, and maybe grammatically, find out if the Chancellor is going to let us keep our new president. I sure hope he does. There is only one tiny place in this ceremony where the MC, that's me, is allowed to speak for a moment from the heart. This is that moment, and I'm taking it. Dr. Marrero was gracious enough to hire me as University Provost this summer. So we have worked together for only a few months. But in that time, I can say with certainty that we have become fast and furious colleagues, partners in a great enterprise, and actual friends. And although the time has been brief, I feel as though I've known him my whole life. And so I can say to you, to all here, that based upon that virtual lifetime of experience, we are getting the person we sought. A person of honor and integrity, a person of intelligence and vision, a person of energy and drive. And as I have said to him many times, there is no one on earth, except maybe his family, who is happier than I am that he is our president. Thank you, colleagues. And now, for a reason that some are here, I'm happy to announce, please rise, Jane Marrero, our First Lady, who will lead us in the national anthem. Please rise. Please remain standing for a while. That was glorious. I want to say a word or two about our talent here. Some of you may not know, but she's married to the president, and she has fans around the world as Jane Redding Marrero, not only as a holder of a doctorate in voice and a professor of voice, but as an accomplished professional opera singer who has graced stages all over the United States and the world, really. And if you read the reviews of her performances, you will read praise after praise after praise of this rising soprano superstar. But we love her because she's gracing our stage as our First Lady, the epitome of Southern charm and grace, a wonderful mom to 4-year-old Lily, and the object of our collective affection. Thank you, Jane. Please remain standing for a little longer. You'll get to sit plenty in a moment. And I want to bring to the stadium the Marrero's family minister, Pastor Andrew Hindley of King's Chapel Presbyterian Church, to give the invocation.
This won't be near as pretty, but it's still important. Would you respectfully and humbly join me in prayer? Gracious Heavenly Father, the maker of heaven and earth, the redeemer of souls, I thank you and I praise you that you welcome us, and in fact you beckon us to come and lay our requests and our burdens before you this morning, to lay our praise and our thanksgiving at your feet. And I pray that even as I come on behalf of the people here, that you would forgive me of my failures, my lack of love, and my lack of peace, that I don't love people as I ought. I thank you that your forgiveness and your grace are always available to me and offered to me. We are so thankful that you're a God who cares for this world and that you're redeeming this broken world. And I thank you that in your plan you work through men and women, through universities and through institutions such as this one. And so I pray for the University of West Georgia that you would use it to bring about redemption and truth and beauty in a world where things are often not the way they ought to be. May you use this institution, this university, in such a way that individuals who work here and learn here might reach their full potential to become all that you made them to be, and then through them to transform the world so that it is the place it ought to be. And so I ask that you would use this university in all they seek to do and to be. I ask that you would bless this institution and their goals. May you give them great success. May this campus, the people who work here and who study here, may they care for one another deeply as sacred beings worthy of honor and care. I pray this place would be a place unified around good order and a commitment to one another, and a spirit of peace would pervade this place that leads to cooperation with one another and service for one another. And I ask that this university, this campus would be beautiful, that this institution would celebrate the beauty of the world that you have made with all of its wondrous diversity, that you would weave here a beautiful tapestry of your creation made up of different colors and shapes and fabrics that creates one unified, magnificent piece of art, a true unity in diversity. And I ask that as people care for one another and unite together, that would foster an environment where creativity and innovation may happen in an environment of honesty and integrity. And as they seek to do this, we affirm and profess that you're a God who made this world, both the physical and the spiritual. And so I ask that even as this place seeks to achieve its goals, that they would do so with holistic care for both the environment and for human beings. I ask that the type of men and women this place produces and develops would be whole beings. They would be healthy in body and soul, in mind and in spirit. These are mighty and awesome, valiant and honorable goals. And so I ask that even as the faculty and the staff and the leaders of this university seek to lead and pursue these wonderful endeavors, I ask that you give them wisdom. I pray that the vast and incredible knowledge that resides in this place be rightly applied to all areas of life and study. And finally, Lord, I thank you for the leaders of this place, past, present, and future. And in particular this morning, I set aside for you Dr. Marrero. I thank you that it was in your plan to raise him up for this time and for this season in the life of this university. And I ask that you bless and protect him and protect his family. I thank you for Jane and for Lily. May they be a light, be a delight and joy to Dr. Marrero. And I pray that he would be a faithful and loving husband and father. And as a leader at this university, I pray that you would give him wisdom. I thank you for his gifts and for his leadership. And I ask that he would lead with humility and service, that he would be a man of integrity and truth. And as you bless him, Lord, may you indeed bless this university. I humbly ask all these things in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Please be seated. Thank you, Pastor. It is with great pleasure that I recognize several special guests and groups and dignitaries with us here today. So if you'll bear with me, we have several. First of all, most importantly, will the members of Dr. Marrero's family please rise and be recognized. Would the elected officials, national, state, and city, please rise and be recognized. Georgia, please rise. Will the members of the Foundation Board of Trustees please rise? Thank you very much. Will members of the Alumni Board please rise? And now let us recognize the delegates from the other universities. Would all the delegates please rise and be recognized? And now let's recognize our own family. Will the faculty of the University of Georgia please rise and be recognized, both in and out of regalia? Thank you. Will members of the West Georgia staff who are here please rise and be recognized? Good turnout. And finally, the reason in reality for all of this, the reason for what we do every day. Will any students of the University of West Georgia please rise and be present? Thank you all very much. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to introduce Regent Philip Wilhite, Sr., Chairman of the Board of Regents of the University System of Georgia. Chairman Wilhite.
Thank you so much. It's a great pleasure for me to be here today representing the University System of Georgia's Board of Regents for this historic moment in West Georgia history. This is my official welcome to Dr. Moreno as the president of this fine university, and let me assure you we are going to keep him. And if there's any question about that, it was all put to bed with the singing of the national anthem. That was absolutely breathtaking. Thank you so much for that. Wish I'd had a recorder. Dr. Moreno brings, I think, new energy and vision to a campus here that is already energized and a very vibrant campus that's located in a dynamic strategic location here in West Georgia. There's so many good things happening in this region, things that West Georgia, University of West Georgia has been a part of and will continue to be a part of as they grow and mature. I think it's wonderful what they're doing. And I think they will also, under Dr. Moreno's leadership, they will continue to enjoy their reputation of excellence that they've had from the very beginning. In fact, I see that growing every day. Let me pledge to you, Dr. President Moreno, that the Board of Regents will give you our full support as you look to implement your strategic plan and vision for this wonderful university. I think it's wonderful that we're getting started on such a great note today. So let me close by the way I started. Let me welcome Dr. Moreno to the University System of Georgia family. It's great to have him as part of it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chairman Wilhite. The votes are accumulating in the favor. As our district representative of the Board of Regents, I now introduce to you Regent C. Thomas Hopkins, a physician board certified in orthopedic surgery and orthopedic sports medicine with a private practice in Griffin and a partner of Ortho Georgia. Please join me in welcoming Regent Thomas Hopkins.
Thank you. It is both a pleasure and an honor to be here to celebrate with you. On behalf of the entire Board of Regents, I bring you enthusiastic greetings. Speaking on behalf of the entire board, all of us take great pride in the university system, its institutions, and the people that drive our work and success. One of the key institutions in the system is the University of West Georgia, and it's a growing and dynamic university that serves this region and the entire state with excellence and with commitment. One of the region's key responsibilities is the selection of college, universities, and university presidents. It is my honor to officially welcome Dr. Kyle Marrero as the 7th President of the University of West Georgia. The inauguration of a new president is a rare and exciting event. It is a landmark moment in the university's history, a time of change and hopefully of growth and innovation. An effective president must have many qualities, including the ability to balance differing needs and priorities, the energy to meet a constant stream of commitments, a clear understanding of the university's past and its culture, and a genuine interest in the faculty, staff, and student achievement. He or she must also possess the vision to see what the university can become, a plan to get there, and the passion to engage others in its journey. Over the past year, Dr. Marrero has proven that he has all these traits and that he is dedicated to making the next era of West Georgia's history its greatest thus far. He has joined a university that already has much going for it. West Georgia's enrollment continues to rise. Its programs and people are regularly acknowledged and awarded in a variety of forms. And its students continue to succeed after graduation. As a growing university with an innovative leader, a supportive community, and faculty and staff committed to student success, West Georgia is poised to achieve a whole new level of greatness. Congratulations to both Marrero and the university on this momentous occasion. I look forward to seeing the advancements of the coming years at the University of West Georgia. I've watched Dr. Marrero work, and I agree wholeheartedly with my fellow regents' decision to place him in the leadership position of this important institution. I'm positive that under his leadership, the university will create a vibrant community of educators, learners, and of doers. And to Dr. Marrero, I bring our best wishes for successful and rewarding tenure as the University of West Georgia's president. Thank you.
Thank you, Regent Hopkins. It is now my pleasure to introduce our Senator, the Honorable Mike Dugan. Senator Dugan represents Georgia's 30th Senate District, and we may refer to him in the plural since he's a double alum, having earned a bachelor and a master's degree from our institution, and I think a double good friend to West Georgia. Please welcome Senator Dugan.
Thank you all. I'm going to set up the background here real quick, and I'll build from that in just a few minutes. As we talked about, I'm up from here. My father taught here for 20 years. My mother started off working as a secretary in the education department and ended up getting 3 degrees because she decided she wanted to be a teacher. She got 3 degrees from here. My sister taught here. My oldest brother was a cheerleading coach here back in the 80s. The next brother to me, 2 degrees from here. My wife sitting there in the front, also a graduate of the university. And most importantly to me, and sorry doctor, but the thing that I took the greatest pride of graduating from West Georgia was I got her to be my wife after meeting her about 400 meters that way on campus. We have, my daughter took classes from here. My son and my nephew are currently students here. And by the way, go tomorrow and watch them at the stadium for homecoming. They both play on the football team. Now I tell you all that to kind of set the tone that my family is deeply and passionately and emotionally attached to this university. And anytime that you have a change at the top, there's going to be some concern if you're that emotionally involved. I've got to watch Dr. Marrero and his family for the last year. We have the right man in the right position to take our institution into the future. He can build off the great legacies that former presidents have left him, and they've all done a great job. But I'm excited for the future of this institution. I'm excited to see where we're going to go for the next few years. And I'm excited to have 2 people that I personally call friends running our university here in West Georgia. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Dugan. Let's now welcome State Representative in the Georgia General Assembly, the Honorable Randy Nix. Representative Nix serves the citizens of the 69th District in the Georgia House of Representatives.
when I first walked in just a few minutes ago, I had planned to come up here and say, Dr. Marrero and Jane, welcome. But after hearing the national anthem, Jane, welcome you and whatever his name is back here. It is great to have you with us, Dr. Marrero and Jane. It is great to serve with this legislative delegation that we have, and I may take one point of personal privilege. We do have one of our members who is not on the stage, Representative Lynn Smith. Lynn, would you stand and let them see that you're here, please? It is a great privilege to welcome Dr. Marrero to the University of West Georgia. I don't think he had been here more than just a few weeks when he called us as a legislative delegation and asked us to come and meet with him. And the first thing I realized was the excitement that he brings with this new vision that he has for the University of West Georgia. And it is contagious. I have caught it, and I see that a lot of other people have caught that as well. And I am just really delighted to welcome him, to welcome Jane and the family. And I really believe that this institution is going to be blessed mightily over these coming years by having Dr. Marrero here.
Thank you, Representative Nix. We now welcome to the stage the Honorable Dustin Hightower, who currently represents the 68th District in the State House of Representatives. Representative Hightower is also a distinguished alum of UWG. Dusty Hightower, please come to the stage.
Thank y'all for having me this morning. As others have already done, I want to welcome Dr. Marrero, Jane, and Lily to the University of West Georgia, to my hometown, and to the area I'm blessed to represent the Georgia House of Representatives. Over the past year, you and I have gotten to spend a lot of time with each other. During that time, we've talked about the university, your vision for the future. We've talked about sports, our families, and I think we have both agreed on numerous occasions that the day our daughters were born, they stole our hearts immediately. And of course, we have spent much time discussing legislation that could potentially help UWG and the entire university system of Georgia. But I want you to know what it is about you that has impressed me the most through all our discussions, and that is how genuine you are. I've read several articles about you over the past year. Many focus on his high energy, his motivating nature, and his passion for what he does. But for me, the most impressive thing is that he does all these things with a genuine heart. So let me be genuine with you for just a moment. As you know, I'm an alumnus of this great institution. I hold my time and my memories here very close. I can clearly remember the days Dr. Zachary, during a business law class, inspired me to go to law school. I can remember when Sandra Smith gave me the only C I ever made in my entire life. I can remember when Chris Geiger was always there for me when I needed some advice. I can remember holding hands and praying with fellow students I didn't even know on September 11th. I remember the endless nights in the library, the fraternity and sorority socials, the flag football and softball games, and most importantly, like Senator Dugan, I remember seeing my wife for the first time in the intramural fields, where the new nursing building now stands. And I also remember, to my regret, when my wife was crowned homecoming queen, and I was shortly thereafter crowned first runner-up. And she has not let me forget that. And that is why I cherish this place the way that I do. So as we pass the reins to you, understand that you are more than just a university president. You are also now a protector of all the memories I and thousands of other alumni have made here. I hope that you embrace our past and rich history, and I know that you will. But as we move forward, because we must always move forward, we look to you to push this university to new heights. We look to you to challenge every faculty, staff member, and student to reach their full potential. We look to you to invest in the memories future students will make here at West Georgia. Dr. Marrero, my friend, Kyle, we're very honored to have you as our president, and we look forward to what you're going to do with our university.
Thank you very much, Representative Hightower. And now to speak on behalf of our city and our local community, please welcome our mayor, Wayne Garner, dear friend of West Georgia.
Thank you very much, and I'm delighted to be here to welcome the Marrero family to Carrollton. These are genuinely great people, and I will tell you, after that national anthem and all that's going on up here, if you aren't on fire for the Marrero family, I would suggest your wood is wet. And you keep crying. Talking about the Marreros, my son Griffin yesterday, we were riding around and we were talking about Kyle and Jane and Lily, and Griffin said, "You know what I like about the Marreros?" I said, "No, what is that?" He said, "They just aren't weird. They don't act doctory." I hope that's a word he learned at the University of Alabama, not the University of West Georgia. But y'all have just, gosh, made Carrollton your home. We love you. We're delighted you're here. The other day I was driving down Maple Street and I saw this student jogging up front campus. I was impressed at his pace. And when I passed him, it was Kyle Marrero, not a student. My 4-year-old grandson likes Lily, so he's coming on good. He's got good taste. Well, the amazing thing about Jane, I mean, listening to her sing was unbelievable. But 2 Saturdays ago, she was at Aaron McWhirter's dove hunt and looked just as comfortable there eating that barbecue as she did up here. We love y'all, and we're glad you're in Carrollton. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. With us today also are several individuals who represent important groups within the university community. The first is Mr. Rocky Lippum, who represents the UWG Foundation. And as many of you know, the foundation is responsible for friend and fundraising for the university so that we can continue to provide much needed scholarships and programmatic support. Please welcome Mr. Lippum.
Well, I too am honored and excited about how his family joining as president of our university. Mostly, I am feeling after a year of being with them blessed. There was a long process in selecting a president who I was involved in that and fortunate to be involved in that. The thing that I noticed first, and a lot of times first impressions can be wrong, but in this case, it was certainly there. Similar to Dusty, a calm confidence and a sincerity in this man that you don't see in every man that walks our streets. And so for that, we are very thankful. And we look forward to you helping us as we try to meet and help students and these faculty meet their potential. We have a tremendous amount of obligation, a tremendous amount of hope as we move forward with this institution. Kyle has shown himself to be engaging in our communities. He's raising the bar for our endowment. For those of you who don't know, Kyle is a very successful resource development officer in his history. And one of the things that we need to meet our growing enrollment is a growing endowment. Our endowment has doubled in the last 4 years, but it needs to triple in the next 6. And Kyle Marrero, at the helm of this institution, will be the one that leads us there. And so we look forward to those things. From that interview process, I want to thank the Chancellor for agreeing with the committee on our choice to be president. What I'm seeing from Dr. Marrero, I think is said well in a Presbyterian minister's poem. Van Dyke, you may know, 4 things a man must learn to do if he would make his record true. To think without confusion clearly, to love his fellow man sincerely, to act from honest motives purely, and to trust in God and heaven securely. I see that in our new president, the 7th president of the University of West Georgia, who I'm very thankful for, and we look forward to leading with. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. LeBlanc. The university has not held a presidential inauguration in more than 20 years. The last one was for the previous president, Dr. Behruz Setna. Dr. Setna served as president from 1994 to 2013. He is the first known person of Indian origin to become president of a university in the United States, and has accomplished many goals during his 19 years as president. He now serves as Regents Professor in the Richards College of Business and is President Emeritus. Please welcome Dr. Behruz Setna to the stage.
My dear Mr. President, First Lady Jane, First Daughter Lily, welcome to West Georgia, and thank you all for being here. And thank you for your friendship to Marby and me. Mr. President, we are gathered here today to shower our best wishes upon you and your presidency. I am proud to serve this university under your leadership. I also place on record my thanks to the Chancellor and the Board of Regents for appointing you to the presidency of the University of West Georgia. In honor of this occasion, I've written a President's Blessing. After I wrote it, I Googled to see if I'm missing anything, looked at President's Blessings on the web. And you know what? There weren't any. There were blessings by presidents, but not for presidents. Now, why is it not very popular to write blessings and prayers for presidents, generically? There are prayers for other endangered species, but why not for presidents? I don't know. Nonetheless, I've written one, and remember that you heard it here first at the inauguration of President Kyle Guerrero of the University of West Georgia. Mr. President, during your period of your presidency, which I hope will be a very long one, may the national economy boom and the state economy be even boomier. I coined that phrase in the mid-2000s, but for some strange reason never got a chance to use it until now. I don't know why. May our enrollments boom and our budgets boom as well. And Mr. Chancellor, we got the message that it's not just enrollment, so my next prayer is that may our retention rates increase to national levels and our graduation rates to even better. May our performance be exceptional and our performance funding even more so. May our faculty continue to do nationally and internationally significant and recognized work, but never, never forget that the center of our universe is the student. May our staff continue to do the great work that they do every day to help ensure student success. May our students rise to excellence. Have a great time at West Georgia, but never forget that they're here first and foremost to get a great education. May our salaries, you love this one, colleagues, may our salaries continue to rise and be on par with the best in the nation. Mr. President, much like our Generation Z kids, who read about rotary phones only in their history books, may you never know what a budget cut is. Well, I'd like to wish that for you, but realistically, let me modify that prayer. May your budget cuts be rare and small, and may your budget increases be large and frequent. And may you never, never know what the dreaded F word is that rhymes with Burlow. May your donors be many, wealthy, and generous, and may your capital campaigns be huge and successful. And during the winter time or during bad weather, if you ever declare a snow day or a bad weather day, may the snow pour down from the heavens. And if you do not declare a snow day, may it be bright and clear. May you always have support from the top, from your peers, from those of us fortunate to serve under your leadership, and from the alumni and the community at large. And I wanted to make this more specific to West Georgia, so I asked for help from, this is serious, I asked for help from alumni, from faculty and staff emeriti who had known previous presidents. So I wanted to glean from them a few attributes of previous presidents that I could wish for you. And with that, and I thank all of the historians that helped me do this, I wish for you the wisdom and the caring to two of our institutional values, of President Irvin Sullivan Ingram, who was the father of West Georgia College, but not the very limited resources he had to work with in getting this institution up and running. I wish for you the dedication of President William Hamilton Raw, but a much longer time to serve the institution in the office of the President. I wish for you the academic strength, resolve, and commitment to inclusiveness of President James Emery Boyd, without the tensions associated with the national conflicts and matters of consequence which brought drug raids, bomb threats, and various other things to West Georgia. The athletic successes I wish for you, the congeniality and scholarly nature of President Ward B. Pafford, but not the wild and crazy types of activities such as streaking that occurred during the period of his presidency. For those of you who are not aware of this, West Georgia was considered the streaking capital in the presidency of Ward Pafford. And I wish for you the thoughtful and professional bearing and flexibility, the commitment to due process of President Maurice K. Townsend, but not the primitive levels of technology which caused him so much distress, such as rotary phones that he had to live with. And now, I may have painted myself into a corner, while these historians who helped me with these attributes offered unsolicited some words and phrases about the next guideline. I cannot mention any of the positive ones at the risk of appearing self-serving, and I'm certainly not going to share any of the nasty things that Mel Stevens said about me. So what can I wish for you from the tenure of your immediate predecessor? Only this. I wish for you the same good fortune that he had, of walking among the best faculty, staff, and student body possible, and the best community support, and the same wonderful family support that he had. My thanks to them, and my wish of the same great fortune on you. Dr. Marrero, I ended my inauguration speech 20 years ago with a line from Star Trek. Let me close these remarks with a line from Star Wars. May the force be with you, Mr. President, and also with the University of West Georgia.
Thank you, Dr. Stephan, for all those blessings. The University of West Georgia is proud, excessively proud, sinfully proud, of its outstanding and award-winning faculty and staff. They work hard every day to ensure the success of our students and to elevate the stature of our university, and I'm enormously proud to be counted as one of their colleagues. Many of them have dedicated their careers to these pursuits, and they're here with us today in large numbers. But here to give greetings is the chair of the Faculty Senate, Dr. Elizabeth Kramer. Please come to the stage, Dr. Kramer.
Well, I had heard that I was going to follow several engaging speakers, so I promptly pulled together every president, opera, and faculty senate joke I know of. There are them. What I found was I had a lot of them, and they were probably more appropriate for a roast than for an investiture. So what I offer here is something more brief and more serious. Like many faculty members, I've keenly observed our new president since he arrived on campus. I've noted his positive and energetic vision and deeply appreciated his honesty and humility. He has told me that he wants a true partnership with faculty. I'm here to say, President Ferrera, this is exactly what we faculty want with you. Faculty-president partnerships have long been important here at West Georgia, even before June of 1973, when the Faculty Senate of West Georgia College met for the very first time. West Georgia faculty seek to be good partners by modeling the highest scholarly standards, respecting our students and all whom with we work, and striving for objectivity in our judgments. As we are charged by our university statutes, we also maintain the right to criticize and seek judgment, believing that freedom of inquiry is the bedrock for the values, integrity, caring, innovation, collaboration that we share. Critique and change can be uncomfortable. To put it in musical terms, these moments of truth-seeking can feel as uncertain as the midpoint of an opera. At intermission, we wonder how the conflict might ever be resolved. But our human desire for something better proves irresistible, and so we return for more discussion, anticipated denouement, and for the moral of the story. It is up to us here today to create the moral of our shared UWG story and to celebrate good partnerships. And I leave you with one more musical analogy that might point to a path we could take. As might not be apparent, my academic training, like Kyle's and Jane's, is also in music. As a musician, President Marrero brings to his job heightened listening skills, a commitment to understanding those with whom he works, and appreciation for the shared process. These practices make for inspiring musical partnerships. They also characterize good collaborations in other fields, and as such, are the skills that faculty develop in their years of learning and teaching. Thus, looking forward to years of shared partnership, it is my great honor as chair of the University of West Georgia Faculty Senate to formally extend the faculty's warmest welcome to our new President, Cal Marrero, to his wife, Dr. Jane Marrero, and to their daughter, Lily. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Kramer, for those warm words. And now I want to invite to the podium Aaron Brannon, who is chair of the Staff Advisory Council, to provide greetings on behalf of West Georgia staff.
Good morning. On behalf of the more than 900 staff members at the University of West Georgia, it is my absolute pleasure to welcome Dr. Marrero and family as the 7th president of the university. This past year, under Dr. Marrero's leadership, the staff have experienced an unprecedented level of support. From the moment that Dr. Marrero arrived, he insisted that the voice of staff be included in all matters related to the institution. Now, we sit alongside all university leaders as part of the President's Advisory Council. Now, our perspectives inform planning and direction of the university, including the recently adopted strategic plan. And now, the vital role that staff play at this university will be key in leading UWG to be the best place to work, learn, and succeed. In the 7 years I've been a staff member at this campus, I feel an energy, and I hear an excitement among the staff like never before. Just this past week, as the meeting was ended, I listened as a staff member shared her personal story. Several years ago, she resigned from UWG, disillusioned and disappointed. Hearing about the many changes Dr. Marrero was bringing to our university, she made the decision to return. In telling her story, she shared that today is truly a new day for her and for the university. Today, she is inspired and enthused and proud to be a member of the staff at the University of West Georgia. Staff at the University of West Georgia are indeed awakened to new opportunities and are eager to continue this journey. And I, for one, agree with them, and I look forward to the journey to come from Dr. Marrero. So thank you, Dr. Marrero, and welcome.
Thank you, Ms. Brennan. Also with us today to give greetings on behalf of the students is President Ms. Sandra Santiago, President of the Student Government Association. Ms. Santiago.
Good morning. On the behalf of students at the University of West Georgia, I would like to formally welcome Dr. Marrero to the University of West Georgia's Wolfpack. It is encouraging to know that in even a time of transition, our student body was not forgotten, but actually invited to the table to work with Dr. Marrero since day one of his presidency. We truly appreciate the commitment Dr. Marrero has shown to students by making the student success an important priority in the university strategic plan to participating in the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge during our Welcome Back activities. Given the dedication Dr. Marrero has given to this partnership, I am excited to imagine the improvements and progress that will be made by the university and student bodies to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Santiago. And thank you to all our students, faculty, and staff who have participated in the inaugural events this week. In any representation of key university communities, we must certainly include our alumni, who now number more than 56,000 worldwide. I'm pleased to introduce the current president of the University of West Georgia Alumni Association, Mr. Greg Benda.
Good morning, and thanks for having me today. On behalf of more than 60,000 alumni located around the world, I would like to congratulate Dr. Morero on becoming the university's 7th president and welcome him to our large family. It is hard to believe that a year has already passed, but look at all that we've already accomplished. I believe you must take action before you can expect others to do the same on your behalf. Dr. Morero has demonstrated this with his passion, leadership, and vision for this university. In an early conversation with Dr. Morero, he focused on engaging our alumni and how critical this was for the association. We spoke on the importance of building long-lasting relationships with alumni and former students. Dr. Morero has provided the Alumni Association with a blueprint for engagement through his behavior with the Alumni Association Board of Directors. He made a point to provide university updates at our board meetings and to get to know all of our members. Dr. Morero has also shared his past experiences and his vision with all of us. He has demonstrated his level of support by attending so many of our programs and participating in them across the state. In the short time Dr. Morero has been president, the Alumni Association has made huge strides with engaging our alumni. We have developed and launched 13 alumni networks, which are going to be based on geography, affinity, and academic programs. These will provide engagement opportunities, service initiatives, and support for the UWG Annual Fund. I would like to thank Dr. Morero for his continued support. His positive attitude and drive for success has been contagious. During a recent commencement ceremony, I witnessed Dr. Morero standing here on the stage, grinning ear from ear, celebrating each graduate as they walked across. Normally, the process goes that a student is called up, he's announced, he walks over, Dr. Morero greets him, shakes his hand, nice candid picture, he then proceeds off stage. All the while, he has 2 seconds for his family and friends to scream loudly, and then silence. Well, after about 200 or so graduates, something wonderful happened. A young man was called up, his name was announced, and his 2 seconds of cheering began. He, instead of walking to the outstretched hand of Dr. Morero, he paused and he began dancing. Without missing a beat, Dr. Morero joined in, started dancing right here on stage. A second later, the moment was over, and he shook his hand, took his picture, proceeded off stage. If you looked away, you probably missed it. The best part of this was not that Dr. Morero danced, even though that was really, really something you needed to see. The best part is the excitement and life our new president brings with him to this university, along with his passion, his vision, and his leadership. The Alumni Association is grateful for the support Dr. Morero has provided and look forward to growing and engaging our alumni and former students in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Benda, for your representation of the growing number of alumni that we have here. It is now my pleasure to present the UWG Saxophone Ensemble, led by John Newell, to perform the National Emblem March. no blue. Well, we're coming to the moment. But before we do, I wanted to mention what I think is probably the best line I've heard today about these ceremonies, and it comes from one Lily Marrero. As we were getting ready, I tried to kid with her a little bit, and she was nervous, and Jane said, she's been hearing about this inauguration all day and all yesterday and all day before, and so this morning she said, well, I guess I have to get ready for Daddy's alteration. Actually, that's right. It is an alteration. The Board of Regents selected Mr. Hank M. Huckabee as the University System of Georgia's 12th Chancellor in May 2011. He oversees 31 public colleges and universities with a $7.5 billion annual budget and 45,432 faculty and staff fulfilling the teaching, research, and public service mission to 309,469 students. Mr. Huckabee emphasizes performance, partnerships, and values as he works to build strong political support for the university system's contributions to the state's economic future and individual success. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Chancellor Hank Huckabee to perform the formal installation of our President and officially present him with the Medallion of Office. Chancellor?
Thank you and good morning. It is a great pleasure and honor to be here on this particular occasion. I've really been impressed with what the speakers have all been saying about Kyle Marrero. And due to that, I want to announce an additional event to this weekend. We're inviting all of you to join us at 4 o'clock at Lake Carroll to observe President Marrero walking on water. I also want to observe very quickly on how many of our presidents from the university system institutions are here. Being a part of the system is quite different than running your own independent college. And there are days, Lily, when presidents are altered. And it's great to have comrades and colleagues like this to come and share this occasion with Marrero. And I thank you for that. I assume all of you have filed an annual leave date for this day. Well, the selection of an individual to serve as the college or university president is the most important responsibility of the university system chancellor and its board of regents. And we do not take this responsibility lightly. The University of West Georgia is a large and complex entity. Its quality and success is directly correlated to the abilities of its president. Its president to set a vision, to mobilize the required resources, and then manage its affairs in an appropriate collegial fashion. The task of selecting a president is indeed challenging, but it pales in comparison to the job itself. Being a college president today requires extraordinary gifts. Gifts of intellect, of patience, of understanding, of vision, and an unwavering commitment to the values and purpose of public higher education. All of these attributes are essential to serving a host of constituencies, each of whom have their own hopes and expectations. My remarks today are intended to convey to those assembled here how important this day is in the life of this university, and especially to those of you who teach, work, study here, and those who support it. This investiture ceremony is indeed a celebratory occasion, but it is also a solemn and significant occasion. The selection of Kyle Marrero as the University of West Georgia's 7th president was a careful and thoughtful decision and a manifestation of our faith in his ability to lead this university to greater heights. It is now my duty to formally invest Kyle Marrero with the duties and responsibilities as President of the University of West Georgia. Dr. Marrero, will you please join me at the podium? I charge you, Dr. Kyle Marrero, to reside with integrity and fairness, but always with humaneness over the affairs of the University of West Georgia. I charge you to use your stewardship of this institution to create an even higher level of academic excellence. And furthermore, I charge you to maintain and to defend at this institution a climate that encourages the search for truth and expansion of the limits of knowledge. Finally, I charge you to always place first and foremost in your thoughts and actions the needs of students and how we can better serve them. President Marrero, do you accept these charges? Now back to the action. Kyle, by the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University System of Georgia, I do hereby invest you as the 7th President of the University of West Georgia. May yours be a long and productive period of service to this institution, to this community, to the university system, and to the state of Georgia. Mr. President, may God guide your stewardship wisely, and congratulations and best wishes.
Very much. Woo. Well, here we go. Welcome, friends, family, colleagues, distinguished guests, fellow presidents, community, and students. I am honored by your charge and trust in me, and indebted to all those that have made this institution what it is today. I know it seems odd to have an investiture of a new president almost a year and 3 months after being appointed the 7th president of the University of West Georgia. I suppose the Chancellor, the Board of Regents, UWG faculty and staff, the Carroll community, they all wanted to make sure they made a good decision before going to all of this trouble. So, this is it. We've dated for a year, we're about to make this official, I guess it is official. So I just asked you, as in the matrimonial tradition, I should ask, is there anyone here who believes this pairing should not take place? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Excellent, I think this is going very well. Very well indeed. Good. I sincerely believe in order for a president to be successful, one must honor the past, understand the traditions, honor those who have made the institution what it is today, and forge a future vision that will propel growth, relevance, and transformational impact on its students, faculty, staff, and community. In honoring the past of a 108-year-old institution, it is important to start at the beginning. In December 1906, Carrollton was chosen as the site of the 4th District A&M School, Construction began in 1907 and John Nelson arrived later that year to run the institution. Classes began in January of 1908. 7 men and 1 woman graduated in 1909. The A&M school held its last commencement in 1933. At that time, tuition was free, room and board cost $120 per year, and the only other expense was books. Even then, however, 81% of students used an early form of work-study employment to cover costs. The University System of Georgia was founded in 1931, and on April 15, 1933, the Board of Regents approved Carrollton as the site of the new West Georgia College. Irvin Ingram, who had followed Nelson as principal of the A&M school, became the first president of the new college, and more than 225 students took part in the opening exercises on September 25, 1933. In 1940, West Georgia College added a 3rd year of education to its teacher preparation program. In 1957, the Board of Regents approved West Georgia College's senior class status. This was also the first time parking passes were required, so just for the record, it wasn't my idea. In the 1960s, West Georgia was known as the fastest growing college in Georgia. And in 1961-62 school year, enrollment was 1,089 students with 94 degrees being conferred, and the college's operating budget was $1 million. 10 years later, enrollment had climbed to 5,503 students. 741 degrees were conferred, and the budget was $8 million. In 1963, the university's first African-American student, Miss Lillian Williams, began classes, and the first African-American faculty member joined our ranks in 1969. The first graduate programs began in 1967. In June 1977, West Georgia College graduated its first honors program student. The Noonan location was opened in 1988, and the Advanced Academy opened in 1995. By 1994, and the arrival of UWG's 6th president, Dr. Bruce N. Sefna, enrollment had risen to 8,300 students, and in fall 1996, the college became a university at last, becoming the State University of West Georgia. The university received approval for its first doctoral program, an EDD, in 1998. In 2005, it became simply the University of West Georgia. It conferred its first PhD in 2012, and in fall 2012, enrollment climbed to a record 11,769 students. Most recently, and due largely to the efforts of Dr. Sefna, in August 2013, just after my arrival, the Board of Regents elevated UWG to the University Comprehensive Sector, identifying its USG peers as Valdosta State, Georgia Southern, and Kennesaw State universities. We are now a campus of 645 acres with 4 doctoral programs, more than 30 master's programs, more than 85 programs of study. Students representing 44 states and 72 countries, and over 1,500 full and part-time faculty and staff, with satellite campuses in Noonan, Rome, Douglasville, and Atlanta, and more than $300 million in new and renovated facilities constructed in the past decade. UWG indeed has a rich history and tradition of success. Now, I'm a musician, so in musical terms, we would call this a good gig. So why me? Why now? I suppose the question you have to ask is, how in the world does an opera singer become a university president? Or more importantly, what in the world was the search committee thinking? Well, it's true. My training and background is in music. In fact, opera. In fact, I should have a pink stole, but it will clash with my blue. I am a musician and former leader of arts organizations, and while it might not seem like an obvious background for a university president, I believe it has prepared me extremely well for the role that I play now. For one thing, the arts are always underfunded. I'm accustomed to raising funds and making every dollar work as hard as it can. And that's going to be important to UWG as we look for ways to offer even more opportunities for our students by increasing scholarship support and enhancing the student experience. Also, musicians learn to be creative within set parameters. I've always been an organizer of people, processes, and systems, whether it's leading arts organizations or serving in a higher education administrative capacity. You see, in music, you are asked to be creative and interpret a piece within the guidelines dictated by a composer. You're given the key signature, the time signature, tempo markings, etc. But inevitably, it is your interpretation of the music in collaboration with others that culminates in a final outcome, the performance. You have to have a vision, communicate, set a strategy and process to accomplish the task, and ultimately present your results in performance of which others then evaluate. I would say that serving as an administrator within the university system is very similar. Articulating a vision, implementing that vision while honoring tradition, embracing shared governance, knowing, understanding your market, developing and implementing strategic plans, performance-based metrics. All of these are compositional guidelines within higher education in which we must work. Yet our success, the University of West Georgia's success, will be dictated by the creativity and innovation we achieve within these guidelines. I often communicate the urgency of recruitment and retention of our students to the commodity of a seat in a theater. In a theater, the curtain rises and you've lost that opportunity to have a patron in that seat. The same is so true as we begin a semester and a seat in a classroom or online is lost. This principle also holds true of the cultivation and customer service efforts to foster continued artistic patronage. In the arts, we know without patronage and donors, we cease to be in business. In higher education, we must aggressively approach the successful recruitment, retention, progression, and graduation of our students with the same level of urgency. For me, the passion to serve as a leader in higher education comes from the same place that drives my love for the successful administrating and producing of the performing arts. And I believe both experiences have the power to transform lives. Indeed, these are critical times for institutions of higher education, just as in the arts. In order to be relevant, institutions of higher education need to communicate their distinctives, align their programs with the needs of the region, the state, and beyond. They need to improve retention and graduation rates, cultivate and engage in mutually beneficial partnerships, friend and fundraise, and provide experiential learning opportunities for their students with the primary goal of preparing them for successful careers. You see, I believe in the simple premise that we in higher education are in the business of transforming lives. I am passionate about assuming that responsibility beyond the classroom, and I believe it is our responsibility to prepare students for success in all aspects of life. I am honored and thrilled to be the 7th president of the University of West Georgia, and I promise to you is that I work tirelessly and diligently to forward the mission and vision of the institution and in alignment with the governance of the university system of Georgia. It has been a year and almost 3 months. As I reflect on the year, I've learned so much, and I suppose I have to apologize a bit when I am learning on the job. But that's the spirit we must all have as we learn together. It has been a whirlwind of meetings, conversations, and presentations with internal and external constituencies, from faculty, staff, and students, to community members and groups, to Board of Regents members, to local, state, and federal elected officials. I've spent the time listening, communicating, and learning, and providing a vision, albeit muddy at the beginning, then building trust, process, and energy to implement that vision, and I believe it has become much, much clearer. Mostly, it has been an opportunity for me to engage, understand culture, hear needs and concerns, and establish all important relationships. When I look back at all we've accomplished in the last 12 months, I'm a bit amazed that we have done so much together. We've created a cross-divisional learning network in order to facilitate communication across all areas of campus, implemented an innovation squad to develop and deliver new innovative programs and delivery mechanisms aligned with market and economic growth, and worked on developing UWG's plan for MOOCs and online delivery. We embarked on a national search for a provost, which was completed successfully, and I am so happy to have a partner in Dr. Michael Bradley. We also recruited a new dean for the School of Nursing, secured state funding for many critical initiatives, had record enrollment now standing at 12,200 students, and committed record recurring funds, and this is important, to bring our faculty and staff compensation closer to the equity median. We developed strategic plans for enrollment management and for our athletics program, improved our capital campaign readiness, developed an academic master plan for 2014 to 2020, and developed and provided an internal peer-reviewed presidential grant program for academic projects and initiatives that cultivated student experiential learning, community engagement, research, and presentation. We explored and developed more robust articulation agreements with partners. We were included in chamber initiatives to bring new technology and industry to Carroll County and the region. And we centralized our community engagement office to monitor, assess, and evaluate our service efforts to the region with a goal of 75,000 community service hours per academic year. It has been a record year for philanthropic support at UWG, with over $6.7 billion in gifts and pledges, and university communications and marketing has developed and implemented the next iteration of the Go West campaign. We developed and are beginning the implementation of our new quality enhancement plan. We passed our SAC-COC reaffirmation core requirements and have begun a process to improve our goal setting and assessment methodologies. We also delivered UWG's first ever employee engagement survey with a 90% participation rate. And through the process of open discussion of the results, have begun an all-important cycle of evaluation, dialogue, planning, and action necessary to make our university the best place to work, learn, and succeed. Our quarterly leadership development institutions are a key indicator of our commitment to this process and to hardwiring success in every college by improving engagement and providing our leaders the tools they need to create a culture of high achievement. The University of West Georgia's Leadership Development Institutes have become a vital part of our Engage West initiative. We believe that actively engaged and well-trained leaders are an integral part of an engaged workforce and an engaged campus. To quote psychologist Harry Levinson, and I paraphrase, employees will commit their creative initiative, time, and energy to help the organization succeed in the direct proportion to the degree to which the organization commits to their success. Our goal at the University of West Georgia is to create the strongest leadership team possible as we work to become the best comprehensive university in the nation, sought after as the best place to work, learn, and succeed. Perhaps the most successful initiative and demonstration of inclusive internal and external input and participation, was the development of a new, highly focused strategic plan, 2014 to 2020, which includes a new mission, vision, and value statement. This plan gives us a way to measure our success, informed by data, to provide a rallying point for all campus constituencies. More importantly, it unifies us as an institution while providing evidence of each individual's contribution to our goals. As I've said before, I believe the success of our strategic plan and of achieving our institutional goals will only be accomplished if each and every faculty and staff member is actively engaged. Our plan focuses on 4 strategic imperatives. Strategic imperative 1, student success. Retention, progression, and degree attainment must be everyone's responsibility on our campus. Strategic imperative 2, academic success. Relevant, innovative, flexible programs delivered by highly qualified, diverse faculty. Strategic imperative 3, partnership success. Commitment of the institution to building and sustaining mutually beneficial partnerships impacting economic development and quality of life of the community and region. And finally, strategic imperative 4, operational success. Creating a built environment that is committed to accountability, continuous assessment and improvement, strategic planning, and is fiscally and environmentally sustainable. I very much believe that there has been a true embracing of change, both from a leadership and cultural perspective at our institution, both externally and internally. And I am so pleased that this is the case. In order to create a true best place to work, learn, and succeed, we must cultivate a culture of teamwork, blended with individual accountability, explore innovation, and hardwire the habits and skills that lead to our success and to the success of our students. We have accomplished so much already, and I am excited to see how much further we'll go west in the coming year. So where do we go from here? You see, we have an extraordinary opportunity at the University of West Georgia. We're entering a new era filled with optimism, energy, and momentum, with a stated vision of becoming the best comprehensive university in America, one that seeks to be the best place to work, learn, and succeed, one that honors the past while forging a new West. To reach this level, together, we have shaped a comprehensive strategic plan that succinctly defines our imperatives, defines our mission, and affirms our core values. These 8 values: achievement, caring, collaboration, inclusiveness, innovation, integrity, sustainability, and wisdom. These values will guide the way in which we conduct our daily operations and interactions. We believe this plan, infused with our Engage West commitment to evidence-based leadership and a culture of high performance, will transform our university. The plan and its 4 strategic imperatives begins with new initiatives designed to help our students excel in progression towards their degree, timely graduation, and attainment of career goals. It recognizes the need to responsibly budget these pursuits and asks our faculty and staff to continue to pave the path of opportunity with innovative academic programs that offer an enhanced ability for our students to grow and develop into engaged citizens and effective leaders. The plan calls for an active recruitment and retention of high-quality faculty members from diverse backgrounds and promises to recognize, support, and compensate those who remain engaged and committed to transforming student lives. We will seek expanded partnerships in academic and economic development and actively pursue robust community engagement. Our programs will address current and evolving educational and workforce needs and remain relevant and aligned with the needs of the community, the region, the state, and beyond. To be relevant, we must continue to communicate our distinctives, innovate, and align our programs with the ever-changing needs of a complex, technologically driven future. Our partnerships will be mutually beneficial and designed to improve all facets of our operation. We will foster a culture of institutional effectiveness that will ensure our sustainability and growth. To that end, we have identified institutional key performance indicators, KPIs, that will, through data analysis, benchmark and provide goal setting with comparator peer and aspirant institutions. Senior leadership has developed scorecards, transparently holding each leader accountable for setting and reaching identified goals. We are currently driving record student enrollment, now over 12,200 students, many new and renovated facilities, SAC COC Level 6 accreditation, and recognition of a myriad of national settings for academic quality and affordability. We have been acknowledged as an innovative, progressive leader in online curriculum development and will aggressively continue to forge leadership within the university system of Georgia. Our institutional awareness and reputation are on the rise, and we are capturing the attention of peers across the country. We are well on our way to becoming the best comprehensive university in America as we continue to passionately journey west. My friends, we will capitalize on this momentum and embark on a first ever comprehensive capital campaign in our institution's history. A campaign that will be informed in our case for support by the new strategic plan and will call on our more than 60,000 alumni, our community, and friends to ensure the success of our vision and provide with their gifts UWG's future legacy. I have been described by my colleagues as having unbridled urgency. Well, I will borrow a quote from another musician, Leonard Bernstein. To achieve great things, two things are needed: a plan and not quite enough time. My goal, indeed our goal, is to honor the past and forge the new West. The new West will be achieved with our collaborative efforts and passion of all my colleagues, our community, and our alumni. A year ago, I was excited to take on a new challenge and learn everything I could about my new home. Jane, Lily, and I have embraced and have been embraced by Carrollton and the West Georgia community. This community is indeed a special place, and we are blessed to be here. Today, I can honestly say that I am glad to know many of the faculty, staff, students, and alumni of this university, and I'm proud and honored to be your president. So I ask you to join me, and together we will honor the past and forge the new West. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. I guess you get to stay. So all please rise for the singing of the alma mater. Words may be found in the program, and we welcome you to sing along. But the alma mater will be performed by the UWG Chamber Singers led by Kevin Hickson.
Of Georgia, standing strong and true, our wise alma mater beckons to the red and blue. Though you be learning bounded, youthful yet you'll be, while the sky
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated and remain seated for the academic procession, which brings to a close this investiture ceremony. You are cordially invited to attend the reception for President and First Lady Marrero on the arena floor behind the curtains. My sincere thanks to all who have joined us this morning to celebrate the beginning of a new chapter in the history of the University of West Georgia. Will those in academic regalia please rise, and the marshals will conduct. Thank you.